Hello guys, my name is Sahil and welcome to my YouTube channel. What is that number one thing that you really want when you're speaking English at work, with your bosses, with your colleagues? You probably want to sound more confident, smarter, positive and more intelligent. Today in this video, I'm going to tell you 10 smart English words that you can start using right now at your work, with your bosses, with your colleagues, that will make you sound more confident and smarter. Do stick around till the end of the video, because in the end I'm going to give you one smart tip that will help you to improve your fluency in English. Hello friends, so we will learn 10 smart English words, we will learn their meanings and we will also learn how we can use them in sentences. The good thing is that with a very small upgrade, with a very small change, we can make a huge difference in our office communication. We can sound more positive and we can sound more confident. Now let's go to word number 1. What is that word that we most commonly use when we have to agree with someone or when we have to agree with something? We use the word okay, no problem. The issue with this particular word is that it is used way too many times in English and it sounds very casual. So instead of using okay, no problem, we should start using certainly. It's a very good alternative, it sounds more professional and it sounds more confident. Now the next time when your boss asks you that Sahil, can you complete this report by end of day today? I should respond certainly. Okay, let's move to word number 2. Change is something which is very common at your workplace. There are a lot of changes which keep on happening during your day-to-day office activities. The problem with change is a lot of people, they do not like it. And if you start throwing that word on their face every time when you have a conversation, there is a possibility that it will create a negative impact on them. So instead of using the word change, you can replace it with modify. Let's see an example. Now instead of saying that this report needs a lot of changes because the client is not happy, instead we should say modifying this report will make sure that the client is happier. Now with this small change, you have created a more positive impact. The end goal will still be achieved. Okay, now let's move to word number 3. There is one word which scares the shit out of everyone in office. That word is problem. So if something is wrong, if something is getting delayed, a report is getting delayed, a presentation is getting delayed, we use the word that there is a problem with the report, there is a problem with the presentation, or there is a problem with the order. Now the problem is that when we use this word, it creates a lot of negative energy and it creates a lot of negative impact. So instead of saying that there is a lot of problems in this particular report, we can say that this particular report has complications. That's why it is taking more time than usual. So in this way, you have created a more positive impact and you have, just neutralized the situation better. Let's move to word number 4. Now, what is that word that we use when we are really happy about something? And when we are really impressed about something? We use the word awesome. And don't get me wrong, awesome is not a bad word. It's a very good word and that's why we use it too often. And the problem is that when we are using a word too often to describe something with which we are really happy about, that word loses its value. Right? So instead of using awesome, we can use a great alternative which is sensational. So the next time you are really happy with your colleague or you are really happy with your boss for a change, then you can use the word sensational. That this work, this report, this output that you produced is sensational. This presentation was sensational. So let's move to word number 5. Now there are situations at our work sometimes, when we are not clear about something, or when someone is saying something to us or training us or giving us a presentation, we're not much clear about something. So most often we use that what do you mean? What do you mean is very impolite, and I won't say it's unprofessional, but it is impolite and it doesn't create a very positive impact on the other person. So instead of using the word or a sentence like what do you mean, you can replace it with elaborate. Now if your colleague or if your team member, they are training you something or they are giving you a presentation, if you don't understand something and you want further details, right, so you can use the word can you please elaborate. Instead of saying what do you mean, which is impolite, you can replace it with can you please elaborate. Word number 6 is leverage. Leverage means having an advantage over someone or something. This word is loved by the companies. How you can use this word in a sentence? You can say modifying our approach would definitely give us a leverage over our competitors to win this particular client. Use this word and it is bound to impress the other person. Let's move to word number 7. The fact is that at work, there are many instances when we have to talk about the bad things which have happened or which might happen. So why not use this opportunity to sound really smart and professional? The word that we are looking for is ramifications. Ramifications means if there is a potential negative impact or there is a potential of a bad thing to happen. Right, so now say for example, if your colleague is discussing an idea or an approach with you and you think that it will have a potential failure, instead of saying that this approach might potentially fail, you can replace it and you can use the sentence by saying that we need to consider the ramifications before proceeding with this approach. This will create a more positive impact and that will impress your boss and colleagues as well. Let's move to word number 8. Sometimes things at work, they can get very confusing, right? So your boss sent you an email, but that email didn't hit your inbox, or that email skipped your attention, or your client gave you a very unreasonable requirement and you're not able to understand, and then you are confused, and you're just speaking to your team member that you are confused by the requirement, or you are confused that why you haven't received this particular email. Now in this particular situation, you can sound more smart and confident. Instead of saying that I'm confused, I don't know what has happened, I don't know what to do, you can say I am perplexed. Perplexed is a very good alternative of saying that I'm confused or I don't know what has happened. Say the next time when your boss sent you an email and you missed it and you're not able to find that in your inbox, you can say I'm perplexed. This will create a good impression. Let's move to word number 9. See, everyone at work want to keep the things easy, right? And say if you're a boss and you have to tell to your team members that this particular report seems to be very easy and it's a piece of cake or something like that, right? So now the problem is that these words, they are very casual. So instead you should start using the word straightforward. If you understand something very quickly, you shouldn't say that it is very easy. You should say that it is straightforward. Straightforward is a more professional and a more confident word. Now in the end, we need to learn about a word that we need to avoid, or at least we need to avoid using it multiple times. And personally, through my personal experience, I have seen that people use this particular word at least 5 to 6 times in a conversation, and especially during the presentation. So that word is like. When you are giving a presentation or when you are speaking to your colleagues, I have seen that people use this word like a lot of times. Instead of using this word like, you should replace it with such as. Such as is something which looks, it doesn't sound like a filler word. Like definitely sounds like a filler word, like so, right? So is also a filler word. And in the same way, like is also a filler word. So instead of using like, you should replace it with such as. Now we have discussed and we have seen the examples of 10 smart words that we can apply in our day-to-day office communication. And as I said that it's a very small upgrade, and the impact that it will gradually create will be huge. So please start using these 10 words in your day-to-day office communication if you want to sound more confident and if you want to impress your boss and colleagues. Now the bonus tips for you to be fluent in English, it's not a rocket science that I'm going to tell you, but this is something that I have gradually being benefited by. I started reading very simple fiction novels. It could be English. Sorry, it has to be English. So start reading fiction novels which are interesting. To begin with, you can start reading Sidney Sheldon, right? And at the same time, you should watch some interesting English movies or series. I started watching How I Met Your Mother and Friends. Binge watching them actually, helped me in improving my English, because when you see these English movies or English series a lot of times, then it helps you to connect a lot of sentences, right? So this will make you more fluent in English, this will improve your vocabulary, and this will make sure that you are able to form long sentences while speaking. So all the best, keep learning and keep growing. Thank you.